Hello, welcome to the RaceGrooves Weekend Show for January 15th, 2017. This is where I answer some questions from the viewers, recap the week's videos, and have some bonus video stuff that doesn't make it into any other videos by itself. This allows me to put it here. It'll be segment number 2. I'll have some bonus video, maybe even spaced throughout. Let's go ahead and get to some of the comments from this week's videos. Now this week I only had one video. I had the last weekend's weekend show, and then I just had a Matchbox case unboxing during the week, but I still have some stuff to bring up. Zulfati, he commented, "Hey RaceGrooves, I love to watch your video, but I was wondering why don't your background look nicer than now? Put your display case or track would be nice." And you know, this is actually the third location. Look, the RaceGrooves Weekend shows the thing in progress. So I'm kind of, eventually I will. Look, you know, video gamers, they have nice backgrounds when they do vlogs, or even, you know, people who do vlogs, beauty vloggers, and stuff. I'll get to that. When I first started doing the RaceGrooves Weekend show, it was actually in this room. And as you can tell, I would just stand over to the right. But the problem with that is I would have to write everything down on a piece of paper that I wanted to talk about. So that kind of made it a little uncomfortable for me to do. So then I decided to move over to the room that I keep my loose cars. Now, while that might look cool with all the cars in the background, there was a bit of echo in the room. And on top of that, one of the walls in this room is actually shared with the tenant in the next building. So I don't want them really having to hear me doing my videos. So now I'm back in this room here. Eventually I will have a background. I don't know if I'm going to stay in this room or put it in another room. Who knows, maybe even in the warehouse. But yes, I will have a nice background in due time. Thank you very much. Cannon Bridges, thank you for subscribing. Now, like I said, all I had this week was a Matchbox unboxing video. AJ Gale said that, you know, he's not even collecting diecasts anymore, but it's always fun to watch the videos. Yeah, I try to make them fun and entertaining. As well as Sub 4A, I've been watching your channel for 5 years now. I'm looking forward to see what new ideas you have for the RaceGrooves channel this year. And that's because in the beginning of the Matchbox video, I kind of gave a teaser as to a new format, a new video feature that's going to come to RaceGrooves. And Alex Wilder, it wasn't too hard to guess, but he was the first one to say, "I think the new series is about trucks." Thank you for everybody who gave him 7 thumbs up. In addition to me, I pinned his comment. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be about trucks. Dr. Pixels, hope your new weekly series will be great. I hope so too, because this weekly series, hopefully, now some videos I've been wanting to make, but maybe it's not enough for me to talk about and give it its own standalone presentation. Or maybe there's other factors going on as well. But at least with the Tuesday, okay, let's go ahead and just tell you. Truckin' Tuesday. So with Truckin' Tuesday, what'll happen is that I can have any brand. I can talk about anything with trucks, right? So this way I'm not locked into one brand. One brand doesn't get to dominate a segment on my channel. And so for me, it's kind of a win-win. Win for the viewers, win for the channel. So I'm looking forward to Trucking Tuesday coming up. If not this Tuesday, it'll be the Tuesday following. Rose Ocampo, I want that Dub City Toy Avalanche tomorrow morning at 5. Sorry, you're going to have to wait for Tuesday. In that Matchbox unboxing video, you know, I was mentioning I was already on, what is it, C case, E case? I forget what it was, but you can say it here now, but I'm trying to remember. But I couldn't remember off the top of my head how many cases a year, because somebody asked, you know, are they monthly cases? And with Matchbox, it's definitely not monthly. But thanks FX Franz, he said 12 case codes for Matchbox A through M. And you might say, well, M is, well, I don't have 13 fingers. The reason why it's A through M would be the 13th letter of the alphabet, but they don't count I. So you have 12 case codes a year. But on that note, shipping with Matchbox is very spotty. It's almost like the plant's in Thailand and they do other things besides Matchbox, right? they do other things besides Matchbox singles, I should say. And I think Monster Gems are made in Thailand, but it seems like they'll work for a spell, maybe 6 weeks or something, make a bunch of Matchbox, case A, case B, case C, and then ship them out. And then we won't have anything for months. So even though there's 12 case codes a year, it's not one per month. John Miller wrote, I think the subs have different uses and 2 of the 3 would be manned. Not sure, but the new one, I don't think it is manned. So there's a new submarine type vehicle in the Matchbox collection, brand new in this case right here. And maybe he's right, Subseeker. Maybe it's not actually manned. Maybe it's a remote control device, remote control submarine that goes out, which is interesting, right? But look, Matchbox, you only have so many vehicles per year, right? So why do you have 2 submarines? You know, why? It's not my brand. It's up to them. The King Racer 007, a very nice case. A lot of cool models to collect, and most of the Matchbox originals are realistic for once. Yeah, see, I don't mind the crazy big wheel kind of stuff, but as long as it's sprinkled into the assortment. You know, let's talk about 2 years ago. It was too much. It was too much in the mix, okay? So now the realistic models kind of balanced out. Look, it's not a licensed model, but you look at it, and it doesn't look bad for an original design. Yeah, licensed meaning it's not a Ford, it's not a Chevy, it's, you know, not one of the industrial trucks, but at least it looks nice. So yeah, I agree. It's pretty good. It was a pretty good case, actually. Sebastian M, thanks for sharing, Mark. That Fiat 500X looks nice. Also looking forward to picking up a few of those Land Rover 5-packs. Yeah, you know what? There's a 5-pack out there. I found it at Walmart. I have found it myself. But there's also singles. You know what? I'm going to talk about that in segment number 2. I'm going to show you all of the Matchbox singles that were found at, wait for segment number 2. Yeah, also that Fiat. I got something about a vintage Fiat from Matchbox. I wanted to find it for the last video and couldn't find it. Well, I found it. I'll show you that too. Digger Fan 549. Just gotta love how you always emphasize to play with these toys and enjoy them for what they are. Love all your content and look forward to where your channel is headed, good sir. Especially that monster truck track time. During this week I only did one video. I only did the Matchbox unboxing, but part of the reason was I'm working on my monster truck downhill track, right? This week I did cut some more parts because I have some, it's not ready to go, but yeah, I was working on it this week. Hopefully soon I'll get my monster truck downhill track ready for more races, and maybe also for more, sorry, it's a secret. Kyle Clark, he loves the moving van, and I love the moving van as well. That was some of the bonus content that if you stuck around for the last half of the video, I brought out some old moving vans and showed them. Thank you, Kyle, for sticking around to watch that. And while I was talking about submarines, I went back into the collection, and once again for the bonus content at the end of the video of the Matchbox case unboxing, and that's how I plan to do my Matchbox case unboxing videos from now on. Do the unboxing, and then there's going to be bonus content. So this way, it's more of a presentation. I feel better doing it. I like doing it. Going to the collection, show some stuff. And it's not always about new stuff. You got to have new stuff. There's other reasons as well, but that'll be the format. And yes, F. Clef rules. He's been around for years, by the way. Thank you for popping in. Sandy Cheeks is a character from SpongeBob SquarePants. And that's one of the questions I asked because I showed a submarine. Yeah, it's that one. And Hans was right too. I seen your comment. Barney T. Rubble, that guy, he's prehistoric. The Fiat 500X is a 4-door, whereas the Hot Wheels Fiat 500 is a 2-door. Once again, in the bonus content, I showed Matchbox and Hot Wheels. They're Fiats. Guess what? I found another brand's Fiat. That'll be coming up right after the break. Barney also stated, I have a strange feeling of deja vu about that LOL. Oh, the 2-door and the 4-door Hudson. What are you talking about, Bubba? Yeah, it's okay. You can poke fun at me. You're right. But I was just kind of showing the 2 different designs. Thanks. Elite Bros Gaming. Please make more track time. Yeah, I'm working on track time. Oh, look at that. Why are you looking? You're not supposed to be looking. You're not supposed to be looking. Hey, look. There's my next layout. I'm working on it already. I'll give you a little preview after the break. On another video of mine, the Minecraft Gas Attack track set, Austin Dickerson, he commented they're making a Minecraft movie based on the video game franchise of the same exact name. I went to see Assassin's Creed since it's loosely based on the video game franchise of the same name. See, that's pretty cool. You get Minecraft the game, you get Minecraft the toys, now you get Minecraft the movie. Speaking of Gas Attack, I'm going to have some bonus stuff during the second act of this presentation. Kieran Slapman, it would be nice to see, hold on. I got a bit of glare on my head. Hang on, let me see. I got to cover my head here. Let's see. Okay, that's a little better. What do you think? Kieran Slapman, it'd be nice to see this dino as a stunt piece. He was watching one of my videos, an older presentation. You're watching the video, but the name of that is the T-Rex Takedown. Yeah, it was kind of a fun step for what it was, but he's talking about World Race Highway 35, and he says it'd be nice to see this dino as a stunt piece in a track builder set. If cars fast enough to drive through it like the dino jump in Highway 35 movie, the desert scene, what do you think? Yeah, that would be pretty neat to come out with something like that. But I think I don't think Mattel's interested in doing anything with World Race Highway 35. As good as it was, you know, they moved on. As a matter of fact, there was an old set, T-Rex, a T-Rex as a matter of fact. T-Rex, W-R-E-C-K-S. I still have the dinosaur, here it is. But the cars themselves went up the dinosaur. They went up this ledge right here. And then they would fill up the mouth. And then once so many cars got in the mouth, basically he would blah, and all the cars would come on out. But I don't have all the parts. I don't know if I have all the parts to that set there. Speaking of moving on, you know what people collect for a while? Here we have Tortoise Tom 1. He commented, "Hi Mark, it's been a few years since I have collected and I just found your channel again. Can't believe how many subscribers you have now. Anyways, it's nice to scroll through your videos again." And I found an old comment from him, look, 3 years ago. So that's how the hobby is. People are gone for a while and then they come back. And now he has a, I thought he had posted, but anyways, oh, I cut it off. We had a little conversation. But he said now he has a nephew or something, a younger child. So now he's kind of back into it because the kid's in the cars, he's in the cars. So it's kind of nice how, you know, that's why you can be in the hobby for a while, take a break, come back. You never know. Speaking of which, come back. I'm going to take that break right now, and then I'll be back with some bonus content that I mentioned before. Here he goes. Hey, I can see his red eyes. Welcome back. I had mentioned Gas Attack. Well, you know, I tried to use the part for my next track time presentation, and guess what? You can't use regular track builder connectors with them. They're too long. Well, maybe I'll be able to use Gas Attack in another video, but for now, I'm already working on the layout that you've seen behind me. In the RaceGrooves community on Facebook, I gave a sneak peek to a couple parts that I've been using, and Sam Jackson asked, how come I've fallen so far behind in my track time? I used to be on the ball in 2014 and 15, but now I've fallen a year behind. Yeah, you know, the deal is that I have more lights, I have more cameras, I use a separate microphone now, use more space, and don't forget I moved into 2 different buildings, right? I used to be over there, and now I moved over here. Plus I had remodeling done on my house, right? 20 years lived there, hadn't even done stucco, haven't taken care of anything. Well, unfortunately, my wife's away from home now 4 days a week. So guess who's home and who's got to take care of everything? So that's part of the reason. And there's other things as well. I'm doing other things besides just making videos. But thanks, Sam, for asking. Let's go ahead and take a look at a sneak peek at what I've been working on. Thanks again to Tim Hayes and the RaceGrooves community for letting me know that crisscross piece is called Danger Changer. For this quick demonstration, here's the Firebird Trans Am. This is Ballistic from Team Hot Wheels. Austin Healy, got a couple nerve hammers, and what's that, chicane in the back. Car's going to come down to drop. It's going to be a 2-lane head-to-head race. I have some vintage curves from the red line era, 68 to 73. A couple of them. I thought I'd add some Hot Wheels boosters because the car's running out of speed over there, and then have them come around into this danger changer piece. By the way, those boosters come from a 2016 track set. These boosters, by the way, the battery pack is separate and you plug in the booster. You can see the wire. Let me go ahead and give a couple Nerf hammers a head-to-head race. And the design of this layout was so that one car would have the inside lane going down, and then it would swing to the outside lane. The problem is the first car to make it to the boosters basically drains the power from the batteries, and it gives them an even bigger lead after the boosters. So I don't think I'm going to be able to use the boosters for this track time presentation. More than likely, you'll see something else, or I'm just going to end it right there. See, no matter what, the first car that gets down there, you got to the booster first. It seems like it's going to win as long as it stays on the track. Before I show you the vintage Matchbox Fiat model, here is a Disney Pixar Cars. This one's a Fiat. It's a current car in the lineup. I just picked this one up the other day, Courtney Casper. Here is the vintage Matchbox that I forgot and I couldn't find it. It's a Fiat 1500. This one's old. I don't know about that tail hook though. As you notice, right-hand drive. Since I got some vintage, let me show you what else I found. Here you have a Jaguar MK10 with the old school wheels. Again, another tow hitch. Opening hood. Painted engine on this one. Got an opening hood. The Fiat did not. Right-hand drive again. I don't see anything in the back seat. Sometimes Matchbox, especially nowadays, I'd like to hide something in the back seat. Maybe like dogs or have a book in the back. I have two of these cars. One has a painted engine, one does not. I don't know why. This isn't my area of expertise, and that's why you don't really see these in my videos. You can see a shade difference in the paint as well. So they are not likely to be released at the same time. Again, not my area of expertise. But that's why I like the RaceGrooves Weekend Show. I can just bring something out like this real quick and talk about it. I don't have to worry about telling a big old story. I just don't have a whole lot to say about them. I don't know. Here you have the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow again. By the way, if you've been looking at the base, it says Made in England by Lesney. Lesney was the original owner and creator of Matchbox. Matchbox Superfast, I should say. Opening trunk on this one. Again, right-hand drive. Nice grille, license plate. I'll go ahead and let you have a look at all the sides. Hot Wheels has a vintage Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. Maybe someday I'll set these guys side by side, see what they look like together. Here you have a Commer bottle float, made in England by Lesney again. Old wheels. I forgot, they don't call them old wheels, they call them regular wheels. Those are called regular wheels. Look at the big piece of metal coming out that holds the wheel. Holds the wheel onto the axle. Whenever I see this model here, I always think it's a Tomica. I'll have some Tomica coming up, by the way. Kind of a nifty model. You won't see these in any downhill racing videos. They just don't roll well. That's why when Hot Wheels came out, they were just fast and they looked fantastic. Look at these big, thick axles. So, you know, they were built for durability, not for speed. We have the Dodge Wreck Truck. This one actually has a moving tow hook. It's a tow truck. BP, British Petroleum. I just let you see some of the details. I don't know how many variations and colors and all that stuff. Not my thing. I picked up this sample at a collector show. I don't remember how much I paid for it. But I know it's kind of an iconic Matchbox piece. So even if it's in poor condition, it's probably not in bad condition actually. I wanted one for my collection. Let's go ahead and test out that hook. Doesn't seem to be a place for it to really grab onto. It just kind of almost. Hey, that one worked pretty good. This was not a Lesney super fast. Actually, I don't know if this was during Lesney or not, but the wheels are not the regular wheels. You can see they're different. This one I actually unboxed. It was part of a box set. I unboxed it on my video channel, and the window was missing. It's busted off. Doggone it. It's still kind of cool. It was like $5 for the box set and 4 cars, and it's so old. Actually, I might not have paid. Maybe I paid $5 plus shipping. I forget. Now here we have a Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud made in Thailand. And the wheels, plastic wheels, are different. Again, right-hand drive. You know, Lesney, they're based in England, so that's why collectors in the UK and over there in Europe, they get upset with Mattel and how they treat the brand, is because the heritage of Matchbox is from England. It's from Europe. And so some of the stuff Mattel does kind of seems like it's a little, it doesn't respect its heritage. Here you have a Matchbox super fast. You have the Renault, number 62. Renault, what is that, 17? Anyway, super fast, there's the brand name, or just the trademark. And you can tell the wheels, it has a ridge in the middle. So when the car rolls, it's only rolling on this little edge. This one here. By the way, look at the axle. Look how thick that one is. And look, see, this is what they did. When Mattel went to a thinner axle, so did Matchbox for their super fast. Thinner axles, they got that running ridge. Some people call them racer's ridges, racer's edge, depending on what brand you're talking about. Right-hand drive again, opening doors. Now these kinds of cars, plastic tires, I'll give them some downhill racing time. I'd probably show them with the cases that I showed in the last RaceGrooves weekend show. From Instagram, policeman asked, what's the difference between vintage Hot Wheels and new Hot Wheels? This is called a cut card. For whatever reason, whoever owned this, they cut the top of the card off. But as you can see, it's 1969. This is an original red line package from Mattel. This is when they were based in Hawthorne, California. Not far from where I'm at right now. But if you look at the red line wheels, look at the center of the wheel. It's silver and it's closed. There is no center part where you can see the axle. That's because the wheels were actually like popped on a bushing, and they were popped onto the axle. Now here's the same car. Mattel still uses the Demon, right? And here's a modern red line wheels. And look, they even called it Red Lines. It was part of a Red Line series. So they put red stripes on the wheels. But look in the center. You can see the axle. It's not the same. They actually put the axles together. They pop the wheels onto the axle, and then they flare the axle, smash it out so it holds the wheel on. The old kind, you can't see the axle in the middle. And that's the difference between original red lines and modern red lines. That's why I prefer to call them modern red lines. I mentioned that Land Rover 5-pack showing up at Walmart. It's actually appeared in the UK and Europe and I think Australia. Now they were paying a few dollars a car. The singles are supposed to, I got them at Walmart too, as a matter of fact, but all of a sudden they show up at Dollar Tree. So maybe you're not going to be able to get them at Walmart anymore, the singles. I'm not sure. Or maybe Walmart said, why should we carry a 5-pack and singles and they're the same cars? Well, except for the singles, there is one that is not in the 5-pack. This model here, the Land Rover SVX, it was in that 5-pack. It's kind of plain, but it's okay, kind of plain. You know, just looks like how it's supposed to look like. Here you have the Land Rover Discovery. They give it a police decoration. I don't notice anything that really makes it a police vehicle other than the tampo itself. No sirens. Check it out. Got the side view mirrors. A lot of Matchbox will have side view mirrors. Here's one on the Land Rover SVX. This Discovery has one. I didn't look on the other side though. Let's take a look at the Land Rover Defender 110. This is kind of a cool model. It's kind of a plain as far as the sides, but they did give it headlight decorations. Plus there's a roof tampo to give it some style. And look on the other side of the model. Well, let me just open it up to show you. This vehicle here, it can actually go in water. So this thing's sticking up. It's actually a tube that goes down and then it goes to the engine. So this way the engine gets air and it doesn't get flooded out from running through water. It's kind of a neat little feature in case you didn't know what that thing was that was sticking up. Regular wheels looks nice. It does have the plastic, the roof cut out. They put plastic to reduce the weight, keep the costs down. Now we have the Land Rover Freelander. So far all of these models are in that 5-pack that I showed. This is a pretty neat car. Now, it does have the Matchbox name on the side, which all right. You know, you have a Matchbox toy, so you put the brand name on there. I didn't point it out in a previous case unboxing video, but one of the Matchbox releases, they put their Instagram name on there. I thought that was a little disrespectful. You're using it to promote your Instagram account. It's all right if you put your brand name on there, but now all of a sudden you're using the car to promote your Instagram account. This is the only one that is not in the 5-pack. So if you want this model, you're going to have to find the single. Got tampos. You can say the tampos. I don't have to point them out. And the last one of the set is the Land Rover 90. You can get this one in the 5-pack if you find that as well. Kind of a vintage model. I'm not sure. It's called a 90. I don't know if it's from the 90s or why it's called 90. Sorry. It's not my expertise. Nice classy graphics on the side though. It's kind of square and boxy. Pretty interesting model. I like the decorations. Oh look, it's got the plastic so that the paint doesn't rub off. I like this one too. And you can get it in the 5-pack. Here's my last special video before I get to the Ask RaceGrooves segment at the end. I gotta ask, can I talk a little bit about the Japanese cars, specifically the 124s? So I told him, sorry, large scale is not my area of expertise. Oh, so he meant 164. There you go. Let me show you some 164. Now, I picked these up at a collector show. And once again, this brand, they're sold in Japan and maybe over in that area of Asia. Maybe they get to Australia. I'm not sure. These models here, they have plastic tires. So I bought all of these because I want to do downhill racing with them. By the way, if you didn't notice, there's 2 rows of cars. So I have a whole bunch of them. Of course, I got to pick up the Nissans. Batmobile, that one might not fit on the track, but I just had to get it. Mach 5. Yeah, I like Speed Racer Mach 5. Pick that up. Nowadays, imports are all the rage. So if I want to do a downhill racing video, got to have imports. But I like the cool vehicles too. Besides, they just might cream the, they might cream all the other cars. Maybe they're heavier. I'm not sure. And I did pick up some American cars. I don't think they had too many at the time. I'm not sure how many cars Tomoka produces per year, how many different varieties, or do they have certain cars that are, they just keep reissuing them year after year? I'm not sure. Living in Los Angeles, California, it's not like I grew up with these. But they're really cool. They were in Toys R Us, though, a few years ago. I have a playlist. Hopefully I'll remember and give you the link to the Tomoka playlist when they were at Toys R Us. All right, coming up next, I wrote Mattel letting them know about the busted blisters, and I got a response. So I'll share that response with you right after this. So I got a response from Mattel Customer Services. Hi, Mark. I gave him a video, by the way, letting them know about the busted blisters. Like 17 busted blisters out of 72 count case. It's a big percentage. So, hope you're having a great day. Thank you for reaching out to us and bringing this matter to our attention. I will certainly forward this to the appropriate department and have this situation looked into. We certainly appreciate people like you that help keep an eye on things. Thanks for your continued support and for being part of our Mattel family. With appreciation, Brenda. Well, I don't know. It could be a form response. I don't know. I haven't heard anything since then. By the way, it says, I took this screenshot. It says 5 hours ago at the top, but it's actually from earlier in the week. I doubt if I'll get a response. But, you know, I did what I could. I let them know, you know. As far as I recall, I read something that Mattel was changing the plastic for environmental reasons, but I don't know where I got that information, so I can't verify it now. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Last week I mentioned that somebody in North Korea had watched my video for almost the whole thing. So Winfried said, they even watch you in North Korea. Be proud of that. By the way, you are really family friendly. Keep the good thing going. Yep, got to be family friendly. Anything RaceGrooves, family friendly. Even RaceGrooves community on Facebook, family friendly. No cussing, be respectful. And on that note, check it out. Lebanon, 100%. Somebody in Lebanon watched the whole 41 minutes of the last weekend show. I wonder if I'm going to get any countries to watch the whole thing today. Now, by the way, it averages everybody that watched it. So more than likely, I had one viewer in Lebanon and they watched the whole thing. If you're in the UK and you watch the whole thing, well, I get thousands of viewers in the UK. So on average, it's going to be way hard for any larger country to get a big number like that. Fume Drummer, did you notice at 2145, the yellow Mattel highway maintenance truck's plow blade releases the load to the left as if in England or another country where cars drive on the left side of the road, the rest push the snow to the right. I think it's a mistake because I think Mattel just put the plow on upside down because I checked all of my highway maintenance trucks and that's the only one that has it going the other way. I took a little video afterwards to show the two different vehicles and it does look like it goes the other way, but if you notice the level part of the plow is on the top. It's supposed to be on the bottom so that it would be scraping along the ground. Yeah, I think that's an error. I don't think that was made for England or another country. 20 JK10. He's been around a long time too. Ask RaceGrooves. Hi RaceGrooves, will you be attending the convention in Pittsburgh this spring? It would be cool to meet you in person. I had somebody else ask too, but I don't remember if I screenshot it. Maybe it's coming up. I paid for my ticket to go to the Nationals, the convention in Pittsburgh in a few months. Something came up though. I don't know if I can make it now, but I paid for my ticket. Craftsman Cups series, ask a few questions. If you put a price on your collection, don't know what it's worth. Do I plan on collecting NASCAR Authentics? Nope. I have no expertise. You know, I can't, even if I did, what can I talk about? I'm not a NASCAR guy, so I can't knowledgeably talk about them. Can I do a downhill racing video? Yeah, probably. But they're expensive for me to purchase. I just don't have plans. They're too expensive. There it is. Are you planning on attending the Collector Nationals in Pittsburgh? Yes. I'm planning on it right now, but now I have a conflict. A family thing came up. I don't know if I can make it, but I paid for my ticket already. Daniel John, you know what? In the last RaceGrooves show, I showed some suitcases that I haven't unpacked from a couple of years ago from a convention. And actually not the convention, was the Matchbox gathering. I believe, yeah, I think it's a gathering. He wants me to show him what's in the bags. Yeah, it's coming up. Hang on. Yeah, I'll be opening them up on video. Probably one in February probably one in January, and maybe the next one next month. Power Pistons 15. He wanted to know the same thing. Fail man, ask RaceGrooves. Are you friend of Ghost Jerker? You know, we comment on each other's videos, we watch each other's videos, but we don't really have conversation outside of the YouTube. But like, let's just say this: if he were in the Los Angeles area and he was going to be coming over, and let's say I would tell him where I live. I would have no problems telling Ghost Jerker where I live, right? So do I trust him? Yes, I absolutely trust him. Are we friends? Friends, a big word, you know. Are you friends on Facebook? Are you friends here? Or this? Well, there's certain degrees. So we don't necessarily we don't communicate outside of YouTube. Besides that, he lives over on the East Coast and I'm over here on the West Coast. John SDF 72. Hey Mark, how do you think people would react if Mattel raised the price of Matchbox cars in order to keep castings more metal? Well, this conversation has come up, and you know what? Mattel tried to raise the price, and next thing you know, they went back to under $1. I think it's the retailers that are saying we want them to stay $1. Okay, I'm just thinking. I don't work for Mattel, but Mattel tried to raise the price. Maybe they raised the price, and maybe the stores raised the price, and then people stop buying them, or maybe customers complain. You know, we're collectors. We're a group of collectors, right? But there's also families that buy for kids. Maybe families complain and say, you know, we're not going to buy. I don't know. I just don't know. Personally, I would pay more, but it's not my company, and I don't know why they don't do it. They turn around and they, like, let's say Hot Wheels, they come up out with cool classics, and they'll have metal bases and nice paint. But then Mattel, the stores, try to sell them for $3. Now, wait a second. That's a big difference from $1 to $3 just to have a metal base and little extra paint. Something's wrong with that equation. I just don't know. I don't know. James Brunskill, Ask RaceGrooves. Hi, Mark. Love the channel. He found his 4th super treasure hunt, and he wanted to know, how can they put super treasure hunts in the basic cars, in the basic assortment? They have rubber tires, right? So can't they make all the cars $1 with rubber tires? That's a good question. And I pointed something out to Mattel many years ago, maybe 8 years ago. Walmart had came out with birthday cars, and they had rubber tires, and they were $1, right? I said, Mattel, what are you doing? Because you're sending a mixed message. You say that, well, we can't do adult collectibles with rubber tires, but then Walmart's selling a thing with rubber tires for $1. So what's the deal? So you're right. I do not know Mattel's cost or pricing. I suspect that the $1 super treasure hunt, if it's in there, I would suspect that it's near cost, you know, so they're maybe not making money off of that one car. But I don't know. I have no inside source as to how much it costs, and I'm not going to ask Mattel how much does a car cost to make, because if I ask them, they're not going to tell me the truth. I'll tell you that right now. More than likely, they'll just say they can't tell me, which is proper. They shouldn't tell me, right? Ganasan, bunch of zeros, 1. I want Hot Wheels to bring back the old Ferrari 512's red line with the opening canopy, but as a fantasy model, that casting was awesome and timeless. Yeah, great model as a matter of fact. But Mattel couldn't do that. They can't bring the same casting back and then say, well, now it's a fantasy design. Ferrari will say, excuse me, that's still a Ferrari. And then they'll have to pay licensing fees. So they can't come out with the design and say, it's not a Ferrari, it's a Fadibidijo. They can't. It's a Ferrari. Ferrari, there was an instance, sometime I'll make a video about it, but Mattel did come out with something that kind of Ferrari, kind of, next thing you know, name change. That's maybe that one I'll do a video on. Marco Bricks, UK. He writes, hi, RaceGrooves. Really like seeing the vintage Matchbox Superfast cars. I had several of those as a kid back in the 80s, long since thrown away. My vintage red lines are long gone as well. Most were pretty beaten up. I am considering collecting them all over again as a display, or maybe put them against some of the modern Hot Wheels cars and see how they fare. So yeah, same thing. I plan on doing downhill racing with the vintage Superfast that I do have. And yeah, my vintage red lines are long gone. They went to the brothers, then the nephews, and then they're gone. Envy Focus on Tony. I like these long videos. I can do other things while you keep talking and glance at the screen once in a while. Yeah, I was thinking about that last week as well. You know, some of the show you can just listen to, and then if I happen to mention something on the screen, then you look over. It's not something that you have to just be glued to the screen. Besides, there's not a whole lot to look at here anyways. Smitty, man, 2727. Great weekend show. Learned a lot? Question mark. Well, did you or did you not? You're asking all questions. Did you learn a lot or did you learn a lot? I don't know. You have to tell me. But you're welcome. Toonman 11. He's a friend of mine, as a matter of fact. The show was not too long, covered a lot for everyone. The new format was great. I need to be more awake when I watch the unboxings. I miss the missing windows. Glad you're feeling better, Mark. Have a great week. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you very much, Jay. And as far as the missing windows, yeah, one of the cars, and I showed it in the last weekend show. I know you might have missed it, but I missed it too. I was there. I had the case. I had the car right in my hand. So you have an excuse because you're doing things. But me, I was right there. I didn't see it. Actually, I was trying to distract from the basic treasure hunt. So I was kind of teasing, and because I was looking at that, I didn't even look at the windows in the car, missing the windows. From Twitter, let's take a few Twitter, then I'll come back to YouTube, and then I'll finish with Instagram. Ferncorn fan, ask RaceGrooves, do you have fun doing YouTube? And can you do a video about 25th anniversary of Monster Jam Silver Collection? Now, while I'm talking about this, I'll show the 5 different models that have been released for the Monster Jam Silver Collection. By the way, these are $4.99 at Walmart so far. That's where I found them. I found them and other people have found them. $4.99 each, not the regular price, but the cool all in silver. Do I have fun at YouTube? Yeah. Making videos for YouTube? Yeah, I have fun. Sometimes it's a lot of work. A lot of times it's a lot of work. Editing, planning, especially this weekend shows. Way too much. I spend 12 hours. I'm going to spend 10 hours working on this one. But I still have fun. Come on, I get to play with toy cars, you know. But back to the silver collection. I have not found spikes. Max D. I have not found Max D with spikes. I found the other 4. Am I going to make a video on them? Probably not. You know, I did a video on the holiday Monster Jams, and it didn't do very well. So I don't know if I'm going to cover the silver Monster Jams. Howie Walters asked me on Twitter again, how can a grandpa get his 5 to 7-year-old grandkids into Hot Wheels? How do I compete with the digital age? Well, first thing, it's hard to compete. They're going to want to play with the games and that stuff too. You know, we like it too. We're on the internet and we do our things with computers. But the main thing that I would suggest to you and to everybody, make sure kids are playing with the cars instead of collecting. That age group, they're supposed to be playing with their toys, not collecting. So if you can get a hold of some track, maybe have some racing with the kids, that's probably the best way to get kids into Hot Wheels or any toy car, as a matter of fact. Shade Striker, ask RaceGrooves, is there a difference between models and availability from international cases versus USA cases? I can't say positively, but pretty much all the cases are in all the mix. There was a time when Mattel was like for Matchbox, they would have ROW, rest of world. And so there were certain cases that were destined for the rest of the world and cases that were destined for the USA. And I think it had to do mostly with, you know, there's not a bunch of big SUVs in the UK, so why do they want to collect those models? That was what I heard. But in the RaceGrooves community, I started a conversation about, hey, are Land Rovers sold in your country? Where you at? And did you get the Matchbox Land Rovers? And it was eye-opening because Land Rover is sold in a lot of, the automobile is sold in a lot of countries all over the globe. I was surprised. But not a whole lot of people got the Matchbox Land Rover offerings in their country. So I can't say for certain, is there a difference between USA and international cases? As far as I know, pretty much get the same mix. The only problem is that some countries don't get every case code. Maybe your importer only gets like every other code. So that means you might wind up missing some releases. David Neal, do you have any reviews of the speed meters? Seems like you and Ghost Joker don't ever use them. I thought it'd be cool to see how fast these cars are going. Yeah, I don't remember if he did them. I don't have plans. I have the speed meter and people have asked me to review it. I just have so much stuff to do. I'm not likely to get to it anytime soon. Things that I might review are things that I might use for track time, right? So those things are more important for me to get into a track time presentation. Now you might say, well, you can use a speed meter to use it for track time. Yeah, maybe, but maybe I don't want track time to focus on a particular product to be so focused in the video. I want track time to be mine, not Mattel's. I am Machine. Hello from Australia, Mark. I probably started collecting around 2002 to 2003 when me and my father would go to the nearest Kmart and browse the pegs. We'd usually grab what we didn't have yet at the time. Dad usually collected V-dubs, whilst I collected cars at random. The collection stood around 2,000 cars. Unfortunately, they're gone now. Whenever I watch their videos, they remind me of those moments I spent with my dad. We both started a new collection, yet we collect the same stuff as last time. I'd wish for some car-savvy people to enjoy the hobby as it is, like I do. Have a nice day and keep racing. Thank you very much, Nick. Yeah, have fun in the hobby. And it sounds like I actually had mentioned kind of this earlier, right? People are in the hobby for a while and then they go away, especially like youngsters. They play with them as kids and maybe they get interested in other things, girls, and then later on you come back. You know, that's very natural progression of the hobby. Kraco from the last weekend show. Just a side comment. I don't know if you noticed my tag, but that is my truck. And he wanted to share pictures of his truck. In the description, I have links. I told him, hey, share the pictures of your truck on Instagram so people can see your truck. Because he actually customized a Monster Jam truck to look like his truck. So the link's in the description if you'd like to check out his custom. Mark II had a few questions. Generally, though, there's been a couple times in this video where people ask several questions. If you would, ask a question, okay? If videos run too long as it is. Why do you love the Ford GT so much? There are a lot of negative comments about it on YouTube. If you know all those negative facts, will you still buy one if you have the money? Look, I play poker, as a matter of fact, occasionally. I'm a bit too busy. But look, even in, let's say, any hobby, you should have a percentage of what you earn set aside for entertainment. So let's just say you made $10,000 a year, right? Should you be spending $5,000 on a hobby? No, right? It's too high a percentage of what you earn. So even if I was to get a Ford GT, what are they? Couple 150, 250, I forget what they're selling for. Really, I'd have to have $1 million in the bank to justify owning that car. I don't have $1 million in the bank, all right? So would I get one? Probably not. I'd probably get something else that would be right off the dealer floor, or maybe I would get something custom. You know, the Dodge Charger Hellcat, I watched the video, kind of need to get all that power in a standard engine or one you can just get from the dealer. That would be kind of a neat car to have. As far as do I still go hunting? Yeah, I still go hunting a few times a week. Maybe on the way down, maybe on the way back if we're in the area of a store. Of course, that's what you do. Look, I live in Los Angeles. My shop's in Montebello, so I could show up anywhere in between, or anywhere south, or anywhere that way, wherever I decide to go. And as far as my collection, which cars would I let go first? Couldn't tell you. Don't know. I'm not at that point. Monica Manzano Ferrer. Hi, I'm from Mexico. My son and I love your channel. It's really cool. Thank you very much, Monica. And thank you to your son. I'm glad you are enjoying the videos. This video here might not be intended for kids, but I don't do anything that they couldn't listen to. Maybe they learned something, right? Hey, almost the same name. Pablo, you related to that last lady there? Pablo Ferreira. Ask RaceGrooves. Hi, Mark. Loving the new format. Keep them coming. I wonder, do you have a plan on having a way to catalog your inventory on cars? I wonder about Monster Jam alone, because that's his focus. He loves his Monster Jam. How many do you have? Which models? He watches my convention unboxing every time to torture himself. And thank you for being a beacon to collectors. You're welcome and thank you. And no, I don't have any plan to really catalog, to write things down. I just have tubs. I got my stuff in the tubs. That takes time to catalog. I could be doing other things. The Car Lab, you know, he says that he's been using TubeBuddy for a while now, and it's really handy for YouTubers, helping you out with all the different ways to help your videos grow. Yeah, TubeBuddy, if you check out the extension, and it's common, if you look, you see that little TB thing. So I reinstalled it. I don't particularly do anything with it right now. But yeah, check into TubeBuddy. They have different things that help YouTubers. You can check your stats. Maybe see it helps you notice things that you didn't know. Maybe you're watching somebody's video and you want to see what tags they use. You click on the tags feature and it'll show you what tags they use. Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people are using TubeBuddy. 13 Boss Mustang. Are we there yet? Well, I got 10 more questions, and then we'll almost be there at the end. On Tony Knows, are you ever overwhelmed by the number of little cars you have? Nope, not yet. Batman Fan 5, he has 2 Ghost Flame Batmobiles. One's a regular issue, and one's a Zamac. And he wants to know, is one more rare than the other? You know what? Zamax are only available at Walmart pretty much, right? But even the Zamax are like 3 per case. But I still think that's a lot less than that's produced in the other cases of the regular Batmobile. Not only is that Batmobile sold at Walmart as well, the regular one, but it's sold at every other store that gets cases. So I suspect there's a lot less Zamax Batmobiles than the regular issue Batmobile. BMT 8. Want to collect Hot Wheels and other diecast? Oh, I cut it off, sorry. Why do you want to collect Hot Wheels and other diecast? Well, diecast is cool because I can't own a Ferrari, but I can buy a toy car Ferrari, right? Costs a lot less and I get to enjoy it. The other thing is, look, there's lots of hobbies. Well, the toy cars are small, they're affordable, and they don't take a whole lot of space. Maybe when you get a whole lot of them, you got a whole warehouse. But otherwise, they don't take a lot of space either. Bricks for Brandon 18. Wants to know how many Super Treasure Hunts do you own? Well, just like everything else, I don't keep track, but I would guess I have about 250. Dave Sparky Beck, you remember what car started it all for you? Nah. Look, I'm over 50. I don't know what I collected as a kid. I know a few cars, but when I started collecting again in the 90s, you know what? Even when I started collecting in the 90s, my mom had given me some cars during the 80s, and I still had those cars as well. But I couldn't remember a specific car. Edson Garcia wants to know if I will be doing a Fast and Furious on the downhill racing video segments with the Super 6-lane raceway. I don't know if I'll be using the Super 6-lane raceway or I'll be doing my own track or some other thing. But yeah, I'll be getting Fast and the Furious downhill racing. Don't know if it'll be on that track or not. Jack Mason wants to know, how do I find a super treasure hunt? I've been looking forever. I have a video on how to find treasure hunts. Basically, that's going to be in the description, but basically you need to find out when your stores stock the Hot Wheels. If Target stocks every morning and I don't go until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm not going to find a super treasure hunt. So wherever you are, you got to find out when your stores stock, and that's how you increase your chances of finding a treasure hunt. Here we have Smajo Hadzik. Sorry. Looks like it's Ukrainian or something. Should I keep the 1970 Dodge Charger Fast and Furious Off-Road in the box because it says on the back 4 of 35? Or should I play with it? You know what? Those are mass-produced. Have fun with your car. Play with it. As a matter of fact, that vehicle right there, I'm pretty sure it has suspension if I'm thinking. So if you push down on the car, it has a little suspension for the wheels. Open it up. Check it out. All right? Have fun with your cars. And I'll wrap it up with this right here. South Aussie, HWC 15. Hi there. I was just wondering if your local stores have Hot Wheels at the moment. After Christmas, most stores in Australia haven't even restocked at all. Some are getting 2015 cases. Is this just an Aussie issue or worldwide? Thanks, Jackson. You know, I'm not sure. Even when I go to the stores, I don't particularly pay attention. I'm not only looking for Hot Wheels. I'm looking for other things in the toy car aisle. And no, we're not really getting much anywhere that I noticed, right? Typically, though, look, it's beginning of the year. A lot of stores do their inventory. So not only are they doing resets, but like Target, they're doing a reset. So now it's the new year. Now they reset. Now maybe they're going to move the Hot Wheels over here, and then they move around. It's a reset. They reset everything. So I don't think they necessarily want to put out merchandise because they're moving things around. Walmart, no dump bins as far as I know. Kmart, gone. I'm kidding. A lot of Kmarts are closing in the USA. I don't know if it's the same Kmart as in Australia. Kmart's in Australia a lot more successful than Kmart's in the USA. But who else? Toys R Us. Actually, Toys R Us is getting new cars. I see them loaded with a lot of newer stuff. Not new, but maybe new. But anyways, all right. So in answer to your question, it's pretty much everywhere. And it's, I think, mostly because of inventory purposes, right? They got to take inventory, figure out what they have, their assets, what they got to need to order and all that stuff. But anyways, thanks again to everybody for watching the RaceGrooves Weekend Show. I mentioned some videos. They will be down in the description, okay? And as far as, I'll put a couple recommendations here. Maybe you want to check out the RaceGrooves Weekend Show playlist. Or maybe you haven't subscribed yet. I'll give you a link for that as well. Thank you for watching. Happy collecting. Bye-bye.